mwanamke ni chanzo cha mabadiliko ulimwenguni. Hata ukija kanisani, utapata ya kuwa wanawake ndo vigo. Bila shaka, nafasi ya mwanamke katika jamii ni muhimu sana. Palipo na mwanamke, hapa haribiki neno. Kwa sababu hii, runinga ya Capuchin inakuandalia na kukuletea show kubwa lenye mada Mwanamke Taifa Hai. Kila siku ya Jumanne saa 5 hadi saa 6 mchana. Ungana nami Debra Mwanya ili tudhibitishe ya kuwa uwepo wa mwanamke ni uhai wa taifa. Usikose mdahalo huu wa Mwanamke Taifa Hai. Ni jeshi kubwa mwanamke, ni kanisa wanawake, taifa hai.
Mimi ni mama, mimi ni mama, mama Katoliki, najivunia, mimi najivunia, mimi wa Katoliki, mimi ni mama, mimi ni mama, mama Katoliki, najivunia, mimi an African woman is a beautiful woman, a beautiful woman is an African woman, an African woman is a beautiful woman, a beautiful woman.
World Union of Catholic Women Organization was founded in 1910. So it's like a, let's say, old organization, but very young. So because we have the energy of so many women in the world, 8 million women from all the continents. So in our organizations, we have women from America, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia, Oceania. From all the continents, in total we have 50 countries, and 100 organizations. So I should say that it was founded by South American and European women, but at this moment WUCO is half. WUCO are African organizations, very strong, because as you know, here in Africa, in Kenya for example, CWA, they are 200,000 women gathered together in this wonderful organization. Well, of course, we are Catholic women, open to help all kind of people, so not only Catholic. But what is key for us and very important is that in all our organizations, they are very well organized, always guided by a woman. So not only a woman, but a woman, a board, a team at all levels. So I should stress that it's very important, this organization. For example, here in Kenya, so you have the small Christian communities, and then many times there is a leader, it's a woman. But then at the parish level, the women are organized with a representative of the parish that takes care of all the women. But then at the diocese level is this organization, and then you see that at the metropolitan level, there is the organization together with the chaplains. So always, another important issue is that we always work together with our bishops. So I think that is the main thing that is common for all the organizations in all countries.
This started as it's a branch of WUCWO, WUCO, which started many years back, and this was after realization that women need to work together, after realization that we have marginalized women who really not have people who listen to them. So we decided to create a ring, come together as African countries and try to walk a journey of listening to each other.
So the World Women's Observatory has a motto that is listening for transforming lives. So this is the most important inspiration, no? We want to listen to women all around the world. We want to give voice to the voiceless, so to know their stories, they are strong, no? And all these kind of things that women are so important, no? For this. We intend to mostly be in contact with the women, no? I think that the first thing is to listen to vulnerable women, to give voice, no? And then when you have contact, you realize their pains, their challenges, and all the difficulties that maybe they have. Here in Africa, we listen to many women vulnerable in discrimination and violence. So when we listen to them, we realize that it was domestic violence, gender violence, economic violence were the most important things that we were obliged now to work on. So the next years, because we are here since 2022, then the next years, last year and this year, we worked with the organizations and the congregations in team, in network, so to see the best practices, no, to fight to the violence and discrimination against women.
What we do is to give voice to the work that make the lay women, the sisters in the field, with their congregation, with their organizations of their programs. We have a platform that want to give visibility to them in the Vatican, an international level, and also a local level. When we make trips to the field, we try to get in touch with the media, with the radio, to start sharing and give voice to the work that the sister and lay woman make in the field. Yes, we have different projects. We started in 2021 in Latin America with a project about the impact of the COVID in the women of Latin America. After that, we started here in Africa with the project of discrimination and violence against women. Then we made a project in Latin America also about the participation and discrimination of the woman in the society and in the church. Also in Latin America, we're working with migrant women. We make a research about the main issues, or yes, the motivation that make to the woman to emigrate. And also we are in a project about access to the justice of migrant women from Latin America in Mexico. And we also were working in the Synod for 3 years about the participation of the woman in the Synod process, and also to give visibility to the best practices that the women are making in the field, you know, with their parishes, with the universities, with the congregations, about the Synod. Mm-hmm. So we want to give voice to all of them by our platform, by our reports, because we make reports and we share these reports in international conferences, in our website. Mm-hmm. They invite us also to some conference in the Vatican. So we want to give voice and we want to be a true channel for the Vatican about the women issues from all around the world.
Is gender-based violence in existence. It's everywhere in Africa. And when you look at gender-based violence, it starts with rape, with sexual harassment, domestic violence, and other things you can think of. Yes, what are we doing? We're creating more awareness. We're enlightening women, particularly the girl child. And so, because I remember when I was in the office, as Commissioner for Women Affairs, we even went to the extent of ensuring there is a bill that we can use to enforce the perpetrators of the rapists to come to book. But it's the enforcement. And I know that even since Beijing Platform of Action, affirmative action rather, that has been talking about exclusion of women, that we should demand for 30%, we have not been able to achieve it. So we will not be tired. We will create more awareness, we'll do more monitoring, and it's part of what we have discussed at this platform of WWO, that we should do more of sharing of our stories, networking with each other. And beyond that, I still want to advocate that there is need for us, the women leaders, across our continent and globally, to come together to ensure that we take advocacy, lobbying and advocacy seriously.
And I did research it before I came here for this conference because I wanted to know where we would fit in. And it turns out that 1 in every 5 women has some gender-based violence against them, which is really bad. It's very disturbing. And every single day in the newspaper, you find cases where we have gender-based violence in different forms. We're finding, one I'd like to tell you about is a family who were living in a township, a grandma who looked after a 7-year-old grandchild, and her neighbor was supporting them and helping them. And one night some men came in demanding whatever they were demanding, I don't know that yet, and they actually shot all 3 of those women, the little girl, the granny and the neighbor. So that's kind of what gender-based violence we're seeing seriously at the moment. There's a lot of shooting. There are people who have been activists against gender-based violence. An African lady, very well known, was shot in her car. There's a judge who was recently defending a case, and she got home from work one afternoon around about 4 o'clock. Sitting in her car, she was shot because they don't want these to come out. And very recently, there was a very good report I read, and the judges were obviously telling the story of this woman. But what's disturbing them most is that gender-based violence is very real in South Africa. Okay? But the serious and sad part, and I would like to do something about it, is I only hear the African women talking about it. I don't know why the European women don't want to talk about it. And there was an article in which they were just saying that a girl of 10 years old fell pregnant. The boy who made her pregnant was 17 years old. The family they know one another, and then the police tried to ask that family to press charges against the young man, and they refused. And that's what's happening. The people who are committing the gender-based violence, the perpetrators, are going to court, and then the woman suddenly pulls the case out and says, no, don't do it. Or she comes to pay the bail for them so they can get out. So you see, the problem is huge, and we've got to actually get to go and understand that this is just not acceptable. Unfortunately, there's lots of poverty. I think that's one of the very bigger frustrating parts in families is there is poverty. There aren't lots and lots of extra jobs, and poverty can lead to all sorts of desperate situations.
Coming together to talk about the violence against women, and we've been championing, trying to create awareness, sensitization, education, and then trying to make sure that at least we get the most vulnerable women, listen to them, dialogue with them, hear their sufferings, listen to their sufferings, come out with various strategies that we think we can use that can really help them, elevate them, and then let them know they are not alone, let them know their part, and then make sure that we come out with solutions that can really help them.
Because there are certain situations, like there's the woman we rescued. If I was not available, she would have been killed. But if she just thought that it was sister's sleeping time, sister is not available, then wouldn't have, because I had to drive her to the hospital immediately when she was battered in her home. So being available in the community, that takes you just beyond that particular apostolate, because our call as religious women is to touch lives. And you don't have a limitation of the lives to touch. It's not only the children you teach in school. And even sometimes if I want to depend only on my work, reaching out to the parents, that is a whole another apostolate. Because any child who misbehaves in school, if you have to trace it back, you have to see that that problem is coming from the house. Then when you now follow through, you realize that you have some work to do in that family. Sometimes the mothers are going through violence. Sometimes their father is alcoholic. So when you are able to listen, you realize why a child is coming to school always late. A child is shabby. A child is always being sent home for fees. Then when you come across those challenges, you now start thinking of what can I do? Because I'm even telling people here, I need to know where I can get funding to pay children's school fees. Because there are some whose parents cannot pay. And they need education.
Nobody wanted to participate. So after the training, it has indeed helped. A lot of women are able to verbalize. So by doing that, when the counselors have disseminated the information, the women are able to come to them, are able to say, is it physical? is it sexual harassment? Because even at work sometimes women are being abused. Nowadays we know with the highly population which we are having, they might say, no, if you want to be promoted, let's do that. So the information has been sent everywhere. So with the help of the sisters, and we also have the psychosocial in our health facilities, they are also helping us. And another thing what we are doing in our diocese is when the Catholic men associations, they are having their conferences, also Catholic women are always available to give the information, so that we should work hand in hand. Previously we had like children conference which was in Lilongwe, and later on we had youth conference in Mzuzu, whereby also our bishops stressed on the same, because more we are talking about women, but if we take our children, they also say something about us. So we wanted to work hand in hand by reducing all these cases.
Jambo kubwa ambalo tunalifanya kuhusu kupunguza vita vya kijinsia, sana sana tunatoa seminars. Na seminars zote lazima ziende sehemu mbili. Seminar kwa wababa, seminar kwa wamama. Seminar kwa vijana ambao ni wa kike, pia na seminar kwa vijana ambao ni wa kiume. Kwa sababu hiki tutakaposema kwamba tumueduketi peke yake mwanamke, bado mwanaume utakuwa hujampa seminar, hujampa yani training, unakuwa hujampa, haelewi. Tayari kichwani kwake akishaweka kwamba yeye anaweza kila kitu, yeye anajua kila kitu. Hivyo basi through seminar zinafanywa kila sehemu. Kama nilivyokuambia, sisi jinsi ambavyo tunavyofanya kazi, tunaanzia jimboni. Jimboni watatelemka kule kwenye maparokia. Maparokia wataenda kwenye jumuiya. Kwa hiyo semina zinafika kote, mpaka wale watu wa chini zinawafikia. Kwa hiyo kwa taratibu tutaenda tunapunguza. Hatuwezi kupunguza mara moja, lakini taratibu through seminars, training, kuwa educate wote. Tunawapa mafunzo wote, wanawake na wanaume, kwamba mwanamke ukifanya hivi utakuwa unamkosea mwanamume, na mwanamume ukifanya hivi utakuwa unamkosea mwanamke. Sasa ili wote twende sawa, tusimwache mtu nyuma, lazima tutoe seminars. Tunatoa seminars kwa watu wote.
Discrimination is on many angles. We have discrimination of maybe the widow. The widow are denied their rights. You get a mother, the husband has died, the lady is just chased away. The lad goes because he don't know where to go. So the church has that role of sensitizing women on their rights. That is by involving maybe the legal officers, having workshops, having seminars in which women will be enlightened in case of a certain situation. What are these women supposed to do?
Ngozi, advocacy. I know one of the pieces for WUCO is advocacy. And then every context is different. So we may want to know, what is our context? Come to Kenya, what is the context of advocacy? How will you pick the advocacy? Go to another area, what? Nigeria. Go to Western Africa, Southern, Central. What is the context? How do we advocate for the end of gender-based violence in our own way? So I'm still continuing with the sisters' work as social change, as instrument of social change, sorry. So I want to note that there's somebody who told us about FGM in Embu. Sisters of Mary Immaculate are in the network. Sisters of Emmanuel are in the network. In Tanzania, Sister Mama, what is the name of the leader? Make sure you work with sisters in Mara region. Mara region, we find there. I've been there and I was scared. One of the convent where people are sheltered, you know, it's a okay, those who don't know FGM, it's a very, very difficult practice. It is a seasonal thing where the cutting is done for to bring girls to be adults. So in Kenya we call it crop, Christian rites of passage. So they do something like a seminar, because you can't remove a tradition and leave it a vacuum. You have to put something in. So to remove that, you have to put another practice. That's the Christian now practice. So in Tanzania, I went now to, you know, every time we visit our grantees to make sure we are together to see the problem they're experiencing. So it was during the cutting season. So girls ran away to the convent. Convent had to be guarded by the policemen. Mara people are fierce. You don't know Masai are nothing. You know the Mara region, the way they fight, the same. So they were singing, so sisters had to be guarded. But then they are singing outside. So unfortunately one girl was rescued, and later when they went back, she was stolen and taken for FGM. Now they came singing to sisters at you, and like making them feel bad. You took her, but we have already taken her. So it's a very difficult work the sisters do, because that is a culture. And the problem now in Tanzania is during elections, because people go, this politician will go say, leave these people, it is our culture, so they will be voted for. But who loses? It's the woman. These women sometimes die. And when they die, they are just left, they cannot be buried.
And for the women under the GBV, we are also providing them counseling, psychosocial support, and also group counseling. And some cases, if it is a rape or some emergency cases, we also do the referral pathways to other organizations where there is a medical support. So that is, we are networking with them. And we also provide them the dignity kit and some emergency support to them that we are providing to them. Then we also provide them the skill training for them to bring the economical sustainability. So we provide them this 3-month skill trainings who are interested, or the short-term skill training, 1 week, 2 week small trainings, they can earn small money. So we put them in that training and we provide them the starter kit. Then they will go back and start the business, and they sustain their economical sustainability to support their children, sending them to the school, like that. It is because of the war-broken country, as I said, and the GBV also, it is a common phenomena there. Their culture also to give the female child to early marriage, and also sometimes forced marriage, and also there are early pregnancies, and also some sexual harassment. And many things are happening there because of this, due to all these things, this is happening there. So, and also this one of the, when the female child is growing around 10 to 12, 13, the parent, the father of the child want to give that child to marriage because they get the cow. So the cow is important for the father. So if mother is fighting with the husband will beat the mother, the wife, and he will do all kind of other causes to the wife, and he will take his own decision to take the child to the marriage, even to the elderly person. That is a forced marriage, I say. So they don't see the age different for the child who they are giving to 40-year men or 50-year men. They don't see the age difference, but he need the cow. If the child is given, he may get 30 cow, 50 cow, 100 cows according to the position of the richness of the man who is asking the girl. So the girl child has no any voice to speak against of the father or mother, because the father is taking the decision. So that is what the GBBC is also going on there. So many of the girls, when they come primary 6, 7, 8, they become a dropout, because these fathers take them to the marriage. So they become the dropout. So things happening like that. So now we are making the awareness wherever we are working. Making the awareness, we are bringing the parents in the school to give them more awareness, quarterly meetings, quarterly seminars we are making the children who are in the school, don't put them drop out. Send them to the school up to the university, because we are giving free of education up to primary 8. DMA is giving in the IDP 1,500 children as a free of cost. So why you stop them there? You are not spending even one SSP. Then why do you stop the child? The child will take care of your future. Your future.
We are feeling that if we have to stop violence against women, we have to economically empower them. Let this woman have her own resources, that she doesn't have to depend on another person who abused them in the end. Because when they are looking for something, they'll bow to anything. And they're going to accept anything, and they're going to keep quiet. If I talk about this person will stop helping me. So how will I survive with my children? So if we have to let this woman be independent, have her voice, have her self-esteem, restore her dignity, let's empower her to produce, to feed her family, to be able to send her children or grandchildren to school, to be able.
We encourage them to use non-violence skills so that they create harmony in the family, in the society where they are expected to contribute almost 90%. As a woman, it pains me when I see a woman's right being violated, and I stand for them and I empower them. And especially for the young children, as I advocate very strongly on child protection and vulnerable handouts, I encourage the children to share either to their parents, to the sisters, to the teachers of what they are going through. And I have taken it as my responsibility to stand for those who are voiceless, and especially the children. I have a case that I have taken on where the girl child who is around maybe 9 years is being violated sexually by her own dad. The society is afraid to take the decision to report the case. But when it came to us, we were also afraid of what the society might do if we take the case on us. And I took the case to the chief and to the children's officer, and at the moment the child has been placed in a safe place and the dad has been put in jail. It is not easy for the family, they are also struggling. It's not easy for the people who know the situation, but I feel as women we have to stand up for the women and be voice for the voiceless and empower those who can speak for themselves, do so, but use the right skills in that. And I feel we as the women, Lelinchias, we need also to be aware of our own rights and the rights of the women, and be aware of the cultures that we serve, so that we know how to go about advocating for rights of the women. Because if I do not understand the culture, I might not be effective in my ministry of empowering those women and stopping the violation.
My capstone project under the fellowship, I've been working with the women in the informal settlement, that is Kataka area, where I help women understand on the access of finances. As you know, women don't have properties under their name. So I emphasize and help the women that they may come into the groups, so that they form these groups to contribute what you call maybe table banking, but this one is on another level, where we bring the women under SILK program Silk is serving internally lending communities. That's what it means. So I bring these women into groups so that they can come together to make a contribution and help improve their livelihood through that, empowering other women. After the fellowship, I've been able to form another group of women so that they are also contributing towards their own livelihood. And specifically, these are the women in low-income houses and those who head households. There are quite a number within the informal settlement or within the slums. And that has been my focus, and we really appreciate the Hilton Foundation for giving us the opportunity to be in the Washington University, to be given the skills and the empowerment so that we can continue supporting the women, the vulnerable women that exist within our communities. And we, together with 18 fellas, we have been able to champion and have one voice, be it here in Kenya or be it in Ghana, and we will continue supporting our women.
My organization runs an empowerment center nationally, and it is situated in the Diocese of Bamenda. Right now, we are building another empowerment center in another province up the north of Cameroon. And the essence for this center is to bring in underprivileged girls and women to the center. We form them, build capacities in them, give them skills, and then after 1 year, we empower them. Those who do sewing, as I already have in that center, we have 30 girls, and out of the 30 girls, 20 are Muslims. You can see that we don't even discriminate. 20 of them are Muslims, and 5 of them are going to graduate with their brand new machines, sewing machines. In the area of computer literacy, we have 5 of them too. They will be graduating with each a laptop they'll be taking home. And then for mother and craft, we have given them so many materials that they'll go and start up their little businesses. And once we give them all of these things, we don't just let them go. We follow them up after 6 months to be sure that all those things we have given them, they are really empowered and can really put food on their tables. The ones that we cannot get through to, we network with the parishes and the CW women in those parishes so that they follow them up for us and then report to the national executive.
So we should track all the changes that in the lives of women happen. So let's say that these changes are not so big and so important and with so many women. But in the communities, like in Kangemi, for example, yesterday we received the testimonies that the representatives of a group of 20 women that say, really, our lives have changed. So it's not about great changes, but in the communities, little changes. But if one single woman can change her life and improve her life, for us, it is enough. But it's not only one that changed her life, but maybe hundreds of women around Africa.
We have a network in the different projects, and we are training community managers, as Esther, Sister Maureen here in Kenya, in Nairobi, and they who are working with the vulnerable women in the field, they are training to share their voices, and we use our platforms, our events, our congress to share their voices. So in our network we have congregation and organization in the field who work with the vulnerable woman and send us the stories of their voices.
In Uganda, the Catholic Women Organization members are trying so much to ensure that the girls and women are empowered. And when we talk of empowerment, it encompasses various aspects. But generally, as we talk about Catholic Church, we put much effort on the spiritual aspect and then economic aspect.
But women should also train economically in order to follow spirituality. It is important if you are, the spirituality matters when you engage yourself in business. It helps you to see clearly what you need to do. It helps also the leadership to manage the group. So the spirituality is very important. It matters a lot. Given our demography in Cameroon, we have more women than men, and the economic dynamic is also in the hands of women. So women are more dynamic than men. Our economy is informal, and you find the women in those informal sectors, and we have increasing that has boosted up the capacity of women. Is the fact that we had built more capacity in terms of education. Many women have learned now, they are now literate. We have the literacy program, and that literacy program allowed women to work and manage their small businesses. For women, we have also trained them in entrepreneurship. We have many women that are doing entrepreneurship in transport. Many of our who are traveling to China and Dubai.
But in this work which I'm doing with the women, I work very much under the congregation responsibility. The Theresian sisters, under our charism of liberation, we have a special heart for the women. And so I have a responsibility in the congregation as the coordinator of projects to work with the Catholic Association of Malawi so that we empower the women in different aspects. So as a congregation, we are carrying out different activities. More especially, we empower women with different skills, soap making, manure making. We are also into agriculture to make sure that women are not discriminated against, more especially in the line of gender-based violence. Once they are empowered, they are able to stand on their feet. We have also on the Monsieur Aken newsletter, which is in the Continental, where the Theresian sisters are serving the people living with HIV and AIDS, whose the majority are women, where we have now been able to get a funding of more than $100,000 in food relief, as well as gender-based violence trainings.
And so with the women in particular, first of all, we started by working with the women congregations. Ourselves, we decided we were going to venture into agriculture. So in agriculture, we realized that it's the easiest thing somebody can do in their own setting, because resources are not easy to come by, but land is a resource that everyone has. So we realized if we venture into agriculture, we are going to answer a lot of problems. And one of them was food insecurity as a problem in the women, especially in the women-headed homes. So we decided to create a venture, an agricultural venture that was eco-agric, and it takes care of, like, it has pigs in it, it has chickens, it has fish, it has gardens, and everything is interdependent on the other. Such that when we are cleaning the pigs and we are removing the water from the fish ponds, we don't just let it run. We keep it in some septic tank, and when it's time to water the vegetables and the orchards, that's the water we use. We just pump it out to that section. And already it's fertilized water. It means that we are manuring, and at the same time we are watering. And all the manure that comes from these other sections that I've talked about goes into the garden. And when we have to feed the chickens on the greens and we have to feed the pigs, again we get from the other section. So we proposed integrated farming, that if we do integrated farming, then with the challenges of climate change, where this year you have drought, the next year you have too much rain, the other year you don't have anything at all, how can a woman survive with her family? So we said with integrated farming, a woman will keep livestock as well as grow the crops, so that in case there's crop failure, the animals will thrive. And they are going to sell their animals and buy the food which they couldn't grow. So that way we ensure food security and the economic welfare of the home, because once they sell, they have something extra to send their children to school, to pay for medical bills, to answer various needs in the home. But the food would always be there.
We really work with very, very vulnerable women that, for example, suffer violence in the family. So we have this network of community managers, and they know very well the ethical principles. So what they do is that they keep the confidentiality of the women, changing the name of the women, and then never taking pictures for the front. So we really keep the confidentiality. We create a very safe environment for women to share with us their problems.
Mwanamke ni nguzo kuu katika familia. Mwanamke ni chanzo cha mabadiliko ulimwenguni. Hata ukija kanisani, utapata ya kuwa wanawake ndo vigo. Bila shaka, nafasi ya mwanamke katika jamii ni muhimu sana. Palipo na mwanamke, hapa haribiki neno. Kwa sababu hii, runinga ya Capuchin inakuandalia na kukuletea show kubwa lenye mada Mwanamke Taifa Hai. Kila siku ya Jumanne saa 5 hadi saa 6 mchana. Ungana nami Debra Mwania ili tudhibitishe ya kuwa uwepo wa mwanamke ni uhai wa taifa. Usikose mdahalo huu wa Mwanamke Taifa Hai.